Mm-hmm. With Zoom? What are you doing on the big computer? Okay. Come on. Come on. Do something.
Is everybody in online?
Just Hunter. I know Kylie started school today.
Cool.
Ira started something.
Kenton, Danny.
And then I don't know where Danny is.
Is Kenton coming in person? Oh, you don't know where he is. Okay, that's fine. Just wondering. Michael, can I offer you a water to help you wake up to the day? Okay, that might help. Did you go to bed late last night? Yeah, I haven't been sleeping well because it's been so gosh dang hot outside at night. And we don't like to run the air, so yes. I do remember I mentioned that to you. Yeah, we're like, it's not worth the hassle. Billy, how are you doing? Good. Sorry, this is just being like the world's slowest. So,
Unable to finish.
wait, oh, really? Oh, well, that literally just came up. Okay. Try that one more time. Oh my goodness. Okay, so mine's apparently just having a hard time connecting to the Wi-Fi, which sucks. And I guess I'll just let it figure that out and we can just get started with something
You
else.
can load the Kahoot on here.
Yeah, I was also thinking that.
Share the screen there.
Okay. I can do that. Thank you. Hey, everybody online. And by everybody online, I mean just Hunter. Hello, welcome. Michael, Billy, welcome to the class. Today is what special day today for us? The last day of the class, at least for now, until we figure out what we're going to do with that last week, if they ever have an SAT again, or if it's just over for standardized testing now, apparently. So yeah, today's our last day. I did describe kind of the plan for you guys last time, but once again, well, yeah, the plan is to do one more review Kahoot. I made one that is different than the last one, still on English. Try your best. And next, we went over the reading for SAT 9 last time, but we didn't get to any of the English. So I want to do all the English today. And then we'll move on to going over homework and doing any other kind of reading English review content we can get to at that point. So yeah, does anybody have any questions or comments before we get popping today? Look who it is. Kenton joins us. Yeah, we're definitely missing a couple people today because they started school. Still waiting on Danny. I don't know what he's doing. Maybe he'll come in, maybe he won't. But yeah, cool. Kenton, you didn't miss much. Just get ready for some Kahoot action. So let me get that pulled up on here. because my laptop is not connecting to the internet. Love this. Ah. What? Okay. Okay. Sharing my screen with Hunter online. Hunter, give me a little thumbs up if you can see if you're on board. Yay, welcome. Okay. She's the only one online right now. So just like it was reversed where Michael was the only one in person, Hunter is the only one online. This is like Survivor, where we see how many people make it to the end of the class. But I'm very glad that everyone is here. So I want to see, I'd like to have the music because I felt like it was ominous last time when there was no music, but I don't know if it's going to work. Let's find out. Hey, here we go. Oh, heck yeah. Okay. All right. All right. Guessing that's Billy, unless that's some sort of joke between you all. Okay. Kenton really thinking about it. Okay, great. Let's get it poppin'. All right. Number one. So again, replace what's in the brackets or don't replace it. Forgot I have to hit next. Okay, just one. All right, we'll talk about it. Next. All right. Way to go, Kitten. No, oh my gosh, that one was not hard. No, it wasn't. All right, thank goodness we all know our pronouns. Very good. Okay, Hunter right behind. Can she reclaim her victory from Wednesday? Apparently you guys hate the true or false questions, but hopefully you can get this one. Oh my gosh, okay. Good. Oh no. Okay. This is true. It happened to me in Bryce Canyon once. The chipmunks there are very aggressive. Okay. All right. Majority. Michael, you didn't get it? All right. What? Wait, seriously? Oh, I misread that then. Wow, guys, come on. Read the question. I don't know why the yours highlighted. It shouldn't be. There we go. Okay, good. Now we got some points popping. And Hunter's back in town. Kenton continuing his reign. Please read this one carefully. Oh my gosh, I was gonna freak out if anybody missed that. So good. Gosh, the fight goes on. Billy, step up your game. You gotta catch up. All right. Very good, everybody. Oh, okay.
One text in the group chat that they want to be let into the Zoom meeting.
Thank you for letting me know. How do I access that here? Oh, I can just do it on the phone. All right. Danny, welcome to the meeting. You are 14 minutes late, so you cannot join the Kahoot. I'm sorry, but you can look at it. Thank you. Welcome. No, not permitted. Wow. Kenton is back in the game, it says. That's true. He wrote that. It's not a true false question, okay? Very good. Very good, guys. That really did not get a chuckle like I thought it would, so rip me. True or false? Should probably close this because it's loud. What? Who missed that? Oh my gosh. Hunter, no. Oh my gosh. Some of y'all be not listening during class, I see. 3 more. This one might be a bit of a toughie. Think about it. Do not impulse click. And that is true. He was born in Canada in the year 1941. Okay. All right. Come on, guys. Okay, the final chances to dethrone Kenton. It's up to you guys. Has anybody been to Maui? Ululani's is on Maui. It's wonderful. I've never been there. Okay, all right, almost all. I'm gonna explain it. It's gonna make perfect sense to you guys and you're gonna be upset. All right, one final chance. Literally no one answered this one right away. Kenton. All right, the podium. Good job, Michael. Good job, Hunter. And who could it be? Good job, Kenton. Billy, I'm sorry you didn't place, but thank you for your efforts. All right. All right. Let me, okay. So My laptop is still not working, so I'm gonna do the review from here. Huh? Yeah, I may as well have the camera facing me. That makes sense. This. Well, that's not a flattering angle, but at least you guys can see me, so whatever. This angle makes my arms look so fat. Okay. All right. Well, I don't want you guys to see that, but also whatever. We all know each other. Okay. The group, which includes both children and senior citizens, has begun its journey. Got some feedback from you guys saying this one was hard. I will remind you, we had a question as recently as Wednesday that said, what needs a helping verb, right? Like have or has. And it's the word begun. Began is the simple past, right? I would say I began writing, but I would not say I begun writing. But I would also not say I have began. Those two don't go together. So right away, yellow and green are out because it puts a helping verb together with began, which makes no sense. So then you have to ask yourself, is the subject singular or plural? So what's the subject of the sentence? The group, is that singular or plural? Singular. So we want has begun, no change. Go Kenton for getting that one. Props to you. Any questions about this one? Okay, moving on. Oh no, I want all the questions. Okay. All you guys got this one. It's consistency in pronouns, right? So if it says you, you also want you. Very good. Very pleased. Okay, this one also. Everybody good on that one? Any questions? Awesome. Okay, this one apparently murdered all of you. This one says, two chipmunks immediately approached me. They hoped for a bite of my granola. And 3 of you said that that was fine. Looking again, can anyone tell me what's wrong with this sentence? It's not grammatically correct, but why? What? Okay. Maybe you guys' brains are broken in the morning because I know that all of you know how to do sentences, which is why I'm confused. Okay. 2 chipmunks immediately approached me. An independent clause, that's fine, right? But they hoped for a bite of my granola is also an independent clause. And you can't separate 2 independent clauses with a comma. That's a comma splice. Do we remember that? Huh? Pardon? Yes. Yes. So the correct answer was hoping, right? 2 chipmunks immediately approached me, independent clause. And then we have comma dependent clause. Hoping for a bite of my granola, that totally works. Okay? Yellow is not the answer because that would have 2 chipmunks immediately approach me, comma, and hoping. And remember when we have a comma conjunction, both sides of the conjunction have to be independent clauses. So because hoping for a bite of my granola is not an independent clause, you can't do a comma conjunction. Any questions about this one? Cool. All right. Yay, we all got that one. That's word choice. Well done. That one was pulled directly from a test. Oh my gosh, thank goodness for this one too. Okay, it's is the contraction and ITS is possessive. I switched it up on you to try to fool you. Okay, everybody got this one too. Can somebody tell me why blue is the correct answer? Mm-hmm. Okay, so yeah, we can use a colon because the part before the colon is an independent clause, and you can have whatever you want after the colon. Yes, so specifically, it's the shortest, it's the most concise, because technically, actually, all of these answers are grammatically correct. But yeah, but we don't want it to be too wordy. So yeah, that's it. That's why it's blue. Any questions about that one? Okay. All right, everybody got this one. Why do you need a comma after said? Because it's a speaking verb, right? Just like we said last time, if I had said like Mozart's song says that, quote, shawties. If we have that, it's integrated into the sentence and we don't need a comma. Okay, great. Oh, you were actually the only one to get it right. Who is the subject pronoun? You're killing me, guys. I feel like I've said this a lot of times. It is a subject pronoun. What is the version of who which is an object pronoun? Can anybody tell me? Whom? Why did you miss that one, Michael? Yes, so who is a subject pronoun always, and whom is an object pronoun always? It does not depend on context, that's just what they are all the time. Any questions about that? Okay. Okay, all of you guys missed this one. I did expect this one to be a stumper, so let me explain it. It says longtime Jeopardy host, comma, Alex Trebek, comma, was born in Canada. So you might see those commas around the name and be like, okay, that's supposed to be in a positive, right? Well, remember with a positives, you need to be able to pull them out of the sentence and have the sentence still make sense. So if I pulled out the part in the commas, which is his name, it would read longtime Jeopardy host was born in Canada. And that's a fragment, right? You would need to say a long time or the long time. So that's why it's not no change. The next one, it says longtime Jeopardy host, comma, Alex Trebek was born in Canada. That it just doesn't make sense. It's just not something we do. Again, we could say a longtime Jeopardy host, comma, Alex Trebek was born in Canada, because then that would be an introductory modifying phrase that describes Alex Trebek. Yeah, so the correct answer is no punctuation at all, because longtime Jeopardy host is actually acting as a title for him here. Like if I were to say award-winning author Kenton Bowie in the sentence, is that how you pronounce your last name? Good. Okay, thank you. Then there would be no comma, because that would just be his title. It's the same thing as if we were to say like Dr. Joyee, right? You wouldn't put a comma between doctor and Joyee. Joyee doesn't have his doctorate. I'm sorry, I just said that. Yeah, so the test actually will test this one pretty frequently. I apologize that we haven't gone over it much, but I do remember mentioning it at some point. So yeah, just be aware if it's just the title for someone and it's not the or a before it, no punctuation. It just acts like a title, like Mr., Mrs., or Doctor. Any questions about those? Okay, great. Oh, please, internet. I can't have two of my devices fail. Okay. Okay. Those who love shaved ice, dash, and those who simply love a great dessert, comma, should try Ululani's. Only Kenton missed this one. Yes. Because we have a dash before the and that's meant to set off that phrase, right? We need a dash at the conclusion of it as well. Okay, great. And our last one, everybody got this one right, because you may have been tempted to do a colon there, but we don't do colons after words like includes, right, or including, because the part before is not an independent clause. We wouldn't say his bucket list includes period. So yeah, any questions about this one or about the Kahoot as a whole? Danny, have you been tuned in even though you didn't take the Kahoot?
Yeah,
Okay, no questions about any of these?
no, not really. This is like review.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Stop sharing. And I'm going to bring this back up here because I want to sit up there. Oh my gosh. I'm going to try one last time to connect my laptop to the internet so that I can join in and see everybody's little faces. Let's see how this goes. But yeah, next thing on the agenda is going over SAT 9 English. So if everybody can get those test booklets and your score reports out, that would be great. Billy, do you need a test booklet again? Okay. Kenton, do you need a test booklet? Do you have it? Okay. Let me, oh great, thank you. Great. Okay, so go ahead and flip to that English section. You know what? My computer's been good for nothing right now. So I'm gonna use the big computer. But then, oh my gosh. Guys, I wasn't born to be a filmmaker. Huh? You're right. Thank you. Okay. So I mentioned thank you guys for being patient because not all of this comes naturally to me. Okay. And this is just an intensely bad angle for me, but you know, whatever. Not trying to get any of you guys to marry me, so it's fine. Okay. I just want to pull up the answers for it so I don't have to solve them all myself, which I could do. Just don't want to. Okay. All right. First two, actually, yeah, let's do the 1 through 10 things. So 1 through 10, does anybody have any questions about any of those? You shout it out or raise your hand or whatever you want to do. Give you guys a minute to look at that. All right. Going once. Kenton, what are you doing? Awesome. So, do you have a question about any of them? Oh, okay, great. All right, well, no questions on 1 through 10, we're good? All right, moving on. 11 through 20. Okay, so Kenton had trouble with 11, yes? The writer is considering revising the underlined portion to the following. So that would be, as the carbon dioxide level in Earth's atmosphere rises, the world's oceans absorb more carbon dioxide. And then they're thinking about adding, which increases their acidity. So it's saying, should they add it? And our answer here is C. No, because it repeats information provided earlier in the passage without contributing to the paragraph's main idea. So it already says that this makes the ocean more acidic. So we do not actually, wait a second. That doesn't, hang on, that doesn't seem right. The English, yeah. Oh yeah, no, the answer was A. Yeah, sorry. I was you like saved a file wrong in the Dropbox. I thought that looked weird. Okay, so the answer to this one is A. So yes, it explains the relevance of the sentence to the point made in the paragraph, because I was looking around in the paragraph and I was like, yeah, it doesn't already say that. Again, I was looking at the wrong answer key. So yeah, in the beginning, right, it says that the water near Rota 1 is more acidic than that of stomach acid. And then it connects, right, global warming and carbon dioxide level in the atmosphere rising to ocean acidity, which is a big problem. So, Kenton, does that make sense why it's A? Okay, great. Any other questions about 11? Okay, we're gonna go ahead, right, looking at 11 through 20. Anybody have any questions about those?
16.
18? Oh, no, sorry. Wait, is that what you were saying or what Hunter was saying? Oh, okay, great. We're gonna go over Hunter's first because you talked at the same time. Hunter, 18?
16.
16, thank you. Okay, so we'll go over 16 first, then 14. 16, which choice best introduces the paragraph? So the option it gives us is instituting a fare-free system can also have a devastating effect on a city's transportation budget. So answering these ones, what do we have to do first before we would answer a question like this? Okay, Michael says crossing out the wrong answers, but I can't know what answers are wrong if I haven't at least skimmed through that paragraph, right? Because you need to know the content of the paragraph before you can choose the topic sentence, right? So if we go on and read some of the paragraph, can somebody tell me, like, not looking at the answers for 16, like what's the topic of this paragraph? What are they talking about?
Wait, what was your question 16? Like what was the question itself?
Oh, this was which choice best introduces the paragraph.
Oh, okay. Ours are different.
Wait, what? Are you on the SAT and not the ACT?
Yeah, I'm on the SAT.
Wait, what's your question for 16?
The discussion of the experiment suggests that people are inclined to think of specific information sources in response to being.
Oh, girl, are you looking at the reading section? We're going over the English.
No, like at the top it says the SAT practice test number 9.
No, but are you looking at the reading or the writing section?
The reading.
Yeah, we're on the writing. We're on the writing part.
Thank you.
That's okay, yeah. Okay. So, do you still have a question about 16 on the English part?
No, I'm good with 16.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, glad we could clear that up. That may have been a miscommunication by me, so I'm sorry for that. Okay.
I actually have a question on 16 though.
Oh,
I gotta
Danny
go.
actually has a question on 16, so in the end, we are going over it. Okay, so Michael, you said the paragraph's talking about public transport, certainly. What about public transport? Can you be more specific? Yeah, so it's talking about, like, you know, fee public transport versus free public transport. But what element of that are they talking about in this paragraph? Are they talking about convenience? What are they talking about? Just this paragraph, not the whole passage. Yeah. Great. Okay, you hit on it. Great. So it's talking about free versus not free public transport from an economic perspective, right? Like how it's talking about that all public transport systems are subsidized by the government, but large systems need money from people, right? So it's like in other parts kind of in the passage they're talking about like, oh, is this popular, you know, is this a good idea? But here specifically they're saying, is this a good idea in the context of costs to the government, right? So then if that's the main topic in this paragraph, we want to choose an answer for 16 that has something to do with the government and with budget or with costing money. So the only one that does that is A. Instituting a fare-free system can also have a devastating effect on a city's transportation budget, because that's the only one that is talking about it in economic terms. So again, cannot emphasize this enough. Do not try to answer these ones like just on the basis of grammar, because that's not what it's asking. It's asking which one makes a good topic sentence for this paragraph. So you have to determine what the topic of the paragraph is before you can answer. Danny, does that help?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Now we'll take a look at number 14, Michael's request. Michael, can you read that sentence, please? Okay. As a 2014 study by the Royal Institute of Tech in Sweden found that car traffic in town was down less than 3%. Okay. So, what is wrong with the sentence as is? Can anyone tell me? Because the answer is not A. Pardon? Which one is a dependent clause? Okay, you were hot on the trail. Okay. So it uses a semicolon here, and that works because the first clause before the semicolon is independent, but the second clause actually is not, right? Let's read the second part after the semicolon. As a 2014 study by the KTH Royal Institute of Technology in Sweden found that car traffic in Tallinn, blah, blah, blah. So it starts with as A, but it doesn't have the proper structure to start with that and still be an independent clause. So if that's a dependent clause, how can we join independent clauses with dependent clauses? By a comma, yeah? Or what else? Okay. Did you say colon like the name? A colon. Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. My younger sister's boyfriend is named Colin, and whenever I think of his name, I just think of like colon, and it's stupid. So anyway, that's funny. Okay. So yeah, actually our answer to 14 is B, because it's saying car use in town is only slightly declined. That's an independent clause. We have a colon. And then remember, one of our big uses for colons are the independent clause and then like an explanation for that, right? So after the colon, here's our explanation. And that works. All right. Any questions about 14? Good, Michael? Okay, great. Any other questions 11 through 20? 19. Number 19 says, which choice provides an accurate interpretation of the chart? I hate these, they're very time consuming. So reading 19, it says, for example, in San Francisco, fare-free public transit was projected to save $8.4 million per year in fare collection costs, but create a deficit of $72 million per year in lost fares, on top of the capital investments in new equipment and infrastructure. Okay, so let's see. So it says here, right, if we're looking at the San Francisco row, which is the second row, it says is projected to save 8.4, yeah, okay, but create a deficit of $72 million in lost fares. So it does say it's gonna be $72 million as the cost of adding the service, but that's not the cost in lost fares. Can anybody tell me what the cost in lost fares is, according to the table? It would be 112 million. So they're looking at the wrong data point. Yes, not it. So let's look at our other options. The next one says, and save an additional 112 million from lost fares. So that pairs up the right information, but you don't save money from lost fares, you lose it. So it's the saving part of B, which makes it incorrect. C says, but result in a total increase of 184 million per year in operating costs. That does check out because it's on the chart. So, does anybody have any questions about that one? Kenton, why do you think you missed that one?
I think I guessed because I was
Okay. For those online pendants that it looked too time consuming, so we're just gonna ditch it. And I do respect skipping problems that you think are gonna take you a lot of time, but that one didn't take that much time, right? Oftentimes the questions we think are going to be very complex and time consuming are actually not that bad. So I might like kind of take a little bit more of a look at it, determine if like it's really just not happening, then don't do it. But you know, don't kind of just look at it and decide it's going to be too much right away, you know? So that would be my word. Okay. Any other questions with 11 through 20? Moving on, 21 through 30. Does anybody have any questions? 21 through 30.
21.
21. Okay. So, Hunter, can you read the sentence for 21, please?
Yeah. This is not to say that fare-free public transportation is, Some college
That's
towns
okay.
and communities embrace the model because buses can go faster when drivers would not have had to collect fares.
Okay, awesome. So it says some college towns and resort communities embrace the model. So embrace is in the present tense, right? Simple present. So when we see in that answer would not have had, that's not simple present. So that's definitely not it, right? B is simple present. So that looks good, right? C is simple past tense and D is simple future. So basically what we're trying to do here, because college towns and resort communities is the subject, and they're getting two verbs here, kind of occurring at the same time, because embrace is simple present, the next verb has to be simple present as well, which makes our answer B. Does that help, Hunter? Okay, great. All right, anybody else? 21 through 30. 22. Which choice provides the best conclusion to the passage? Okay, so whenever we're concluding a passage, we want that to be pretty general, right? Because it's not just concluding a paragraph, it's concluding the whole passage. So we kind of want it to tie back to our big idea. So the title of this passage is Free Public Transportation. It always helps to go back to the title if you're in doubt. As we were discussing earlier, this passage is kind of addressing the debate between whether fare-free public transport is a good idea. So, which provides the best conclusion? A is too specific, right? Because we're not just talking about research in Estonia. B, subways will prove to be more important than buses. That doesn't have to do with fare-free, right? So that leaves us with C and D. Basically with those, you just have to have read the passage to come up with, oh my gosh, I think I have like cat hair in my mask for my cat. So it's like making me itch. I don't really know how that could have happened, but sometimes I just find Betsy's hair like on my plates and I'm like, how would that have even happened? I keep them in a cabinet. Anyway, my cat is perfect and I miss her when I'm at work. Okay, so basically you just have to have read the passage to determine their conclusion on that. And the answer to that one is D. They determine that fare-free public transport is not the answer. And that's it. Yeah, So A and B you could cross out pretty quick, and then for C and D, you just kind of have to have actually read most of the passage to come up with that. Any questions about that one? Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna like, sorry. Don't like to take off my mask. It's just there's like something going on in there that's itchy. All right, any other ones? 21 through 30? 25. At this point, the writer is considering adding the following sentence. The process can be dangerous given that it requires the use of several volatile chemicals. Thinking about adding, it's also labor intensive, involving several intricate steps. What did you put for this one? It blurs the focus on the dangers involved. Okay. So I don't think this paragraph is focused on how dangerous it is. I think it's focused on how much time it takes, right? How many steps are involved. And we also see that because the topic sentence is not about it being dangerous. So that's not our answer. It is actually B. It sets up the paragraph's outline of the process, right? It's saying it's labor intensive and has several intricate steps, and then it's going to talk about those steps. Can you get on board with that?
Yeah, I just thought it would be the other one, like the sentence before, not like the topic sentence. I'm looking at.
Yeah, it's the sentence before about it being dangerous.
Yeah, I was looking at.
But I mean, also with ones like these, you have to look at like the sentence or two after as well, because it kind of needs to fit in the whole paragraph. I have no idea where the Dropbox is doing right now. It like just completely switched to another file, which is great. Give me just 1 second. Okay. All right, any others 21 through 30 on the writing section? 23.
So I was just confused with what the subject was while I was doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So how would I know it's the digital camera?
Okay. Upon the arrival of the digital camera, professional photographers harumphed that they produced ugly, low resolution images. So you're saying you thought that the subject here was professional photographers, right?
Wait, is it? Oh yeah, it is the subject, right?
Actually, no. The subject. So this is confusing. Technically, so the subject is professional photographers, but it's not the antecedent for the pronoun they. The antecedent, what they're referring to there, is actually the camera. So I totally understand how you would be in doubt about what the antecedent is for that one, and I would advise you to, like, if you're really in doubt, read like the next couple sentences, because the next couple sentences are talking about like the pros and cons of the cameras, less than like what the photographers are doing, right? So it makes sense here that the photographers are like, oh, digital cameras suck, and that pronoun would be it. To be honest, that's like one of the most ambiguous questions I think I've seen on any test. So as a rule, they really don't do ones like that. So don't beat yourself up over it. But if you do find yourself in doubt, just read a little bit more for context. Okay. All right. Any others 21 through 30? Okay. Moving on to 31 through 40.
Wait, actually, I have a question on 28.
Okay, we're moving back to 28 real quick. The writer wants to emphasize how quickly wet plate photographers have to work. Which choice is most effective? So it says the photographer has nominal minutes to develop it. So it's asking which of these, right, accomplish a particular goal. What words in the question are important to pay attention to for 28?
Most effectively.
Yes, but more specifically, I would say quickly. The writer wants to emphasize how quickly these photographers have to work. So which one emphasizes that the minutes are not that many?
D, I guess.
Yeah, it's D, mere. Like they only have minutes to develop it, because that's what mere means, right? It's kind of emphasizing how little an amount is. So that's why D is our answer for that one. What did you say for that one?
Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, so obviously grammatically fine, but that doesn't tell us quick. If it's a matter of minutes, that could be like 120 minutes, right? So yeah, that's why that's it. Okay, good on that one? Okay. So now 31 through 40. Any questions about those? Going once, going twice. None on 31 through 40.
40?
Oh, 40. Okay, thank you, Hunter. All right, let's take a look at 40. In August 2013, the archaeologists discovered thousands of objects in a single 15-foot stretch that was likely a garbage disposal site, period, including buttons, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So right away, I want to remind you guys of this trick. If there are two answers that are literally the same, except one uses a period, one uses a semicolon, what can we do? Cross them both out. So we know right away, A is not the answer, D is not the answer. Cross those right out. Hunter, did you do that first?
Yeah, I put B.
Awesome. Okay, you put B. Likely a garbage disposal site. Among these were, okay, so actually, if you had just the sentence, among these were buttons from Revolutionary War uniforms, etc., that would be an independent clause. So we don't want a comma splice. We want a dependent clause after our comma. So our answer is C. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks. All right, now 41 through 44, just a few of our final ones. 42. Which choice best maintains the style and tone of the passage? So the style and tone of most of the passages are going to be similar, right? Kind of like a moderate vocabulary, like between too formal and too casual. It's not really going to use slang, stuff like that. So this one says, colonial era New Yorkers went to great lengths to secure fresh drinking water, Luria noted, given the effort involved in laying wooden pipes, etc. Okay, so hassle is a little bit informal here, right? Oh, it was the hassle. You know, that's a little bit more of our vernacular. Blood, sweat, and tears seems a little bit extra. I don't think they're saying that like this was just a torturous labor, right? And then feats of strength and fortitude is a lot as well, right? When I think about that, I think of like Hercules or something. So it's just efforts on this one. It's just no change. Yeah, don't try to do too much. What do you answer for that one? Okay, I could see that. That would be like the second best answer, but just not it. Sorry. All right, any other ones 41 through 44? No? Okay, well, any other questions I can answer about this test that are not math related? Not because I don't do the math, but because I don't want to encroach on Joey's territory. Could lead to conflict. Just kidding. Okay, well, that's going to be it on this test then. All right. It's break time. Okay, it's 10:57 now. Come back at 11:02 or 11:03. I'm going to try to get the cat hair out of my mask. Be right back. Oh my God. my car. Be right back. Oh no.
Hey Joey, do we have a test tomorrow? You go to sleep. You seem really tired today.
All right, everybody, it's 11:03. Let's start reconvening. Oh, I forgot to offer you all granola again. Does anybody want some granola? All right. Anybody else? Okay, great. Nobody else cares for the vital nutrients we get from granola. All right. I had to run back to my car to get my phone because I left it in the car and I didn't want it to become 10 million degrees in there. So I did not have time to record the answers for this test, which I forgot. Somebody tossed me a pen or pencil. I have expo markers up here. Thanks. Woo. Okay, so everybody turn to the homework, which was the case for reviving extinct species was the first one. And the other one had another title. This one I actually find like really interesting. I don't know if that's just me like personally being a nerd, but I know that like SAT passages can be really boring, but I think this one like actually brings up some interesting points. You know, I'm also very interested kind of in the environment and things like that. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started with this one. For the sake of the conclusion of the class, I am returning to my beloved first system of choosing people, which is just doing an order of people instead of my papers, because why not? Okay, so we're gonna look at number 38. Is everybody there? Yeah, it's if you go to the primer number 5 page, it's the one right after that. Kenton, did you do the homework? Forgot or intentionally did not complete it and eschewed your responsibilities. You didn't do it as well? All right. I'm about to put Michael on blast. He said we didn't have math, so I thought we didn't have English as well. Well, I told you that you had English. So if Joey didn't give you math, that's his prerogative, but that does not cancel out the homework which I give you. Honestly, I'm just gonna go down the line. Billy, did you do the homework? Danny, did you do the homework? Hunter, did you do the homework?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, I'm going over it for my true fans, my loyal followers who actually did it. Okay. All right. Listen and learn, Michael and Kenton. I would honestly, I was asking everybody because if it turned out that like no, like almost everybody or everybody just didn't do it, I was gonna have you just do it right now. But I don't want to make them sit for 8 minutes while you guys do it. So, all right, number 38 says the author of passage 1 suggests that the usefulness of de-extinction technology may be limited by the. Danny, what'd you get for 38?
What page is it on? I don't write the page down on my paper.
Oh my gosh.
I don't write
Danny
it.
wants to know what page it's on, even though I just said that. All right. It's, if you're in the packet, you'll see SAT primer passage number 5, right? The big page, that's on page 29.
Yeah.
And then if you flip right after it, that's the passage I'm talking about. Are you there?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Great. What'd you get for 38?
I said B.
Okay, relationship of an extinct species to contemporary ecosystems. Is that something the author in passage 1 says? Because I think that's something that's more addressed in passage 2, if at all. So, unfortunately, it is not the answer, but thank you. The answer is D, like dad. Kenton's excited because he just did the question and he got it right. Congratulations. Huh? Yeah, hang on. Actually, yeah, just go ahead and answer 39 because I'm going to use it in my explanation anyway. Huh? Yes. lines 9 through 11, because lines 9 through 11 say only species whose DNA is too old to be recovered, such as dinosaurs, are the ones to consider totally extinct, bodily and genetically. They're saying really the only thing de-extinction technology would not be useful for is species that are really, really old, that have been extinct for a long time. So that's why our answer to 38 is D, like dingo, and 39 is B, like bongo. What? A Danimals character? I have to say, I've never in my life known the names of the Danimals characters. Like, I know that they're there and I can recognize them. I mean, immense cultural impact, but yeah, no idea what their names are. Love Danimals though. Danimals really had me drinking yogurt at a young age. Okay, number 40, as used in line 27, deepest, most nearly means. Hunter, what'd you get for 40?
I said A.
Okay, most engrossing. All right, let's take a look at that. 27 says, so just the thought of mammoths and passenger pigeons alive again invokes the awe and wonder that drives all conservation at its deepest level. What does engrossing mean, Hunter?
Like, interesting?
Yeah, like interesting or fascinating. Unfortunately, that is not the answer in this case, right? Invokes the awe and wonder that drives all conservation at its most fascinating level. It actually means most fundamental. So it means like this is what drives conservation at its most basic level. Yeah. Huh? So D is the answer. Sorry, Hunter. Whenever we're kind of talking about levels of things too, we usually like just two words that go together in English are like fundamental or basic level. We use them often together. So sorry about that, but thank you. Number 41, the authors of passage 2 indicate that the matter of shrinking biodiversity should primarily be considered A. Can somebody tell me what biodiversity means? Yeah, the diversity among living creatures. Absolutely. Yeah. So, number 41, Billy, what did you get? B, it should be considered a global catastrophe. For sure, very good. And for 42, our answer is A, like Apple, lines 37 through 41. So if we go over to those, it says, species today are vanishing in such great numbers, many from hunting and habitat destruction, that the trend has been called a sixth mass extinction, an event on par with such die-offs as the one, blah, blah, blah. So it's saying basically lack of biodiversity is as intense a catastrophe as more famous mass extinctions like the extinction of all dinosaurs. Yeah. Except for, chickens, the T-Rex's precious descendant. Okay, great. Any questions about 40 or 41? Okay. On to, I meant to say 41 and 42. Okay. 43, as used in line 37, great most nearly means. Kenshin or Michael, I'm going to give you the chance to answer that one if you did it. And you said C, it's large. Very good. If you look at line 37, species today are vanishing in such great numbers. Yeah, it definitely does not mean B, wonderful. This is great. So it's C, like carp, a fish I often catch in Animal Crossing. Number 44, the reference to the black-footed ferret and the northern white rhino serves mainly to, Danny, what'd you get for 44?
I got C.
Very good. It's C, provide examples of species whose gene pools are compromised. What does compromised mean in this context? Can anyone tell me? It doesn't mean they're making an agreement with each other, right? Yeah, like in danger, like you see in the spy movies. The location has been compromised. Yeah. Great. 45, which choice best states the relationship between the two passages? Michael, do you have an answer for that one? Or Kenton? Giving you a chance. 45. D. Well, guess what? It's B. Like Bongo once again. Okay, which choice best states the relationship between the two passages? Let's just go through each of these. A says passage 2 attacks the political decision that passage 1 strongly advocates. There's no political decision going on in these passages, so it's not that one. B says passage 2 urges caution regarding a technology that passage 1 describes in favorable terms. Yeah, that's our answer, right? Passage 1 is like de-extinction technology is great and it can never be bad. And then passage 2 is like, I don't know about all that. C says passage 2 expands on the results of a research study mentioned in passage 1. Passage 1 doesn't mention a research study. In D, passage 2 considers practical applications that could arise from a theory discussed in passage 1. This one's tempting, but there's no theory in passage 1, right? A theory is like a hypothesis that we have usually about, you know, the natural world or what have you. So also D says that passage 2 considers practical applications, but I would say passage 1 talks about like what practical applications there could be too, right? They're like, oh, maybe we could do pigeons or mammoths. So it's not exclusively a passage 2 thing. Any questions about that one? Okay, let's flip. Number 46, how would the authors of passage 2 most likely respond to the prospect referred in line 21, passage 1? If we go back to that, it says, furthermore, the prospect of the extinction is profound news. So it's asking how passage 2 would respond. Hunter, what did you get for 46?
C.
It is C, very good. The authors of passage 2 would probably look at that with concern because it implies an easy solution to a difficult problem. You can't just hit the de-extinction button whenever an animal goes extinct. We can't just rely on that, right? 47, which choice would best support the claim that the authors of passage 2 recognize that the imagination soars in response to de-extinction technology? So this one is complex, but all it's asking is that, like, what lines would tell us that the authors of passage 2 acknowledge that de-extinction could be cool, right? Philly, what did you get for this one? Okay, you said B, 30 through 33. And in those lines, it says, with limited intellectual bandwidth and financial resources to go around, de-extinction threatens to divert attention from the modern biodiversity crisis. I don't think that's really giving the passage 1 people credit. I think that's actually detracting from them, right? So the answer to this one is A, 28 through 30. The idea of bringing back extinct species holds obvious gee whiz appeal and arrest it from a steady stream of grim news. So by that, basically, they're just saying, yeah, de-extinction does seem cool, right? And it does give people hope, but I'm going to spend the rest of the passage talking about why it's a bad idea. So Kenshin, Michael, I'm glad that you could get it done. Thank you. Any questions about these passages or any of the questions? Okay, great. We have 14 minutes left together. What do we want to do other than goof off on our phones? Play another Kahoot? What? Yeah, I was like, I don't have any more. I mean, like a what? Yeah, I was gonna say, see if I can find a grammar one that's like relevant? Okay. All right. No, I didn't want to join one. All right, let's see here. Discover. Find me a Kahoot about. Should I tell you guys, me and my boyfriend did a Kahoot on Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I absolutely smoked him on it. I loved that show. It was formative for me. I actually did not watch all of Korra. You mean like it's coming? Oh, it is coming to Netflix. Oh, no way. No, they're just putting Korra on Netflix. Yeah. I refuse to hate on Korra because she is a lesbian. No, I do feel like Korra, personally, the character gets a lot of hate because she is very brusque and very masculine. Um,
Yeah, but I don't
yeah,
like her for that reason. I dislike her because
yeah,
she mastered all the elements before she reached stage 2 and had to travel.
yeah. No, I mean, I totally understand. I'm just encouraging everybody to remember that we have like biases maybe against not only female characters, but female characters who we feel like don't fit into appropriate norms, you know? So yeah, so just examining our biases. But I personally I didn't have that big of a problem with Cora the character. I just didn't like the show failed to attach me to it like the first series did. And it also, I feel like the writing was very disorganized. And one reason for that is that Nickelodeon was like not good about production. Like they would do a season, they wouldn't know if they're going to have a next season, and it was just like very chaotic. Unlike the first series. So yes, there are a lot of things that kind of. Oh, but did you hear the creator stepped away? Yeah. Yerp. Yeah, so that sucks. Yeah, I mean, I heard they wanted to like cast everybody as white people, and I was like, literally, I don't think there's like one white person in Avatar. Oh, no way. I'll have to see. I'll have to see if my boyfriend wants to watch it with me and give it another shot. Anyway, okay. Sorry, Danny and Hunter. We're on an Avatar streak here. All right, guys. SAT grammar. It's 30 questions. I didn't make it. I can't vouch for it, but I hope it's good. Let me have a little preview. Okay. Okay. So this one, it looks pretty standard. I will let you guys know that for my Kahoots, I made the time limit 60 seconds for each question because they can take time. The time limits for all of these questions are 20 seconds. So you're going to have to get on it. All right. Everybody ready? Everybody on board with this? Yes. Sorry, I haven't done that yet, but I don't expect you to do it without seeing it. Okay. Hunter and Danny, give me a thumbs up if you can see it on your end. Okay, awesome. Everybody see it? Yeah, we're good? Okay. What? What about it? I've actually never seen it. It has Keanu Reeves, right? I like him a lot. That's true. I saw The Matrix for the first time like last year. Nice. I mean, it's meant to have some ambiguities to it, but okay. 3 players waiting on one more. Yeah, who's? Oh, okay, great. Oh, actually, waiting on one more. Danny, come through. Join us. Okay, we have everybody. Let's go for it. Oh no. What will it be? Ah, only one. All right. I'm just gonna explain them as we go along so I don't have to go through all 30 later. Okay. To whom will you give the prize, right? We can do the question and answer format with this one. I would say I gave the prize to someone. I wouldn't say I gave the prize someone. So you need that preposition, you need to. Any questions about this one? Okay. Congrats, Danny, for being the only one to get this one. Nice. My cat Coconut sleeps all day. That's such a cute name for a cat. So it looks like it put the the thing to replace in bold. All right, almost. So, okay, I was gonna say almost everybody. Okay, a majority got this one right. This is the proper use of in a positive. Yes, because you could just say my cat sleeps all day. You can take that right out. Any questions about this one? Okay, great. Next. All right. Danny getting a head start over everything. I love all the ones they wrote about their cat. My cat's very funny in that she will kill bugs, but she will not eat them. So she'll just leave them around the house. Good job, everybody. Good use of a colon or a colon, as Michael likes to say. What? Yeah, but you need to put it in the right place. All right. Danny got a significant lead over everybody, but this one does have a lot of questions, so maybe somebody can come in. An Indiana Jones themed question. Yellow is a semicolon, but it's taking out the word and. What? Okay. Only 2 people got to that one. Our answer is yellow. Dr. Jones tossed a date into the air, semicolon. Luckily, Sala caught it. 2 independent clauses.
Isn't red technically right too?
Isn't red technically right? No, because we never want to start a sentence with a conjunction. So no conjunctions after semicolons. But good question, Danny. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, let's keep it going. Okay. Yeah, some people have not seized that opportunity, but that's okay. All right, more Indiana Jones for us all. Please get this one right. Yes, very good. Subject pronoun. Okay, Kenton on a streak, look out. Does anybody else have like big love for Indiana Jones like I do? Huh? You know what? Oh my gosh, she's Bay. He was like, yeah, he was probably one of my first crushes. He was not kind of old. No way. He was in his 30s when he did those movies. Huh? Oh, we don't count Kingdom of the Crystal Skull in the canon. No Shia LaBeouf for us today. There you go. I did. I saw it and I was excited about it, and it was weird, bad garbage. Because actually, that's a great. Yeah, they messed up this question. Just answer whatever you want for this one. It's fine. Okay. Uh, so since it says since the 4th movie came out, it's implying that this is ongoing. So that's why it would be the present perfect. Yeah, that was dumb between the green and the yellow. Sorry about that. All right. That's true. Huh? No, it's like in the first one where she does the thing where she writes on her eyelid. Yeah, on her eyelids. Ooh, only one. So this would be a misplaced modifier or a dangling modifier, pardon. What? It's not passive and active voice. It's a dangling modifier because it says due to his rugged good looks, the student admire her teacher. Due to his rugged good looks would have to apply to the subject, the student. So we have the student and we have indie students. So this one is not only more straightforward, right? But it places a modifier in the right place. Wow. Coming up. We only have time for a couple more questions, not all 30. That scene gave me nightmares as a kid. Oh no. Kenton confuses it. Oh, you did. Very good, guys. The face did not look at it. He did. Let's see if we can squeeze in a couple more. Will Danny be our winner? Let's find out. Ooh, not what you may think. All right. Only one person got this one. Okay, so guys, how you solve these ones? Cross out the Ryan and, right? I would say here's a gift from me, not here's a gift from I. Okay? So whenever you're between me and I or something like that, cross out the other words and see what works. Okay, one more. We're gonna do one more. Who will win? This funky Egyptian music. All right, it's parallel structure, to run, to jump, and to sleep. Very good job. All right, okay. That's all we have time for. Who has won? Good job, Kenton. Not first, but still good. Good job, Hunter.
I think I won. Yeah.
And Danny, very good. Danny didn't get to join us on the first one, but he did come up. Good job, Michael and Billy, for also doing it. All right. La La Land was cute. I saw it on Christmas when it came out. I like musical theater, so I enjoyed it. And the soundtrack for it kind of slaps. Anyway, it's 11:31. It has been a pleasure working with you all. You guys are all great. I know reading in English can be not the most exciting thing, but you know, you gotta do it. So yeah, I will miss everybody. I may see you on an individual level, or I may see you, you know, for the last week we have of the class someday, if there are no more tests. I mean, if the December, like if they get canceled through December, they can't, like, yeah, that's true. So anyway, thank you, Hunter. Thank you, Danny, for joining me online and for being part of my class. Bye-bye. Thank you, everybody in person, for being part of my class. I'm going to enjoy waking up at like 9 a.m. from here on out. Okay, bye. Yeah, sorry to all starting school. I was chatting with another student and she, because you know, I feel like all schools and school districts are doing things differently. She said the way they're doing it is that they have to be on Zoom from like 8 to 2:30 every day. Is that, huh? I don't remember actually. I'm sorry. So do you guys have to do that, or is it more like self-directed? Wait, so they're going in person? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. But you don't do hours and hours at a
I don't
time?
even know if you're doing Zoom. I just know that's the days you get instruction.
Yeah, interesting.
Fridays are off, I guess.
So at least it's not like 5 days a week, you know? Because, I mean, I think ideally it would be more kind of like an online college class where it's like, okay, you might have to like watch a couple of lectures maybe, but you can like do most of the work self-directed. So I hope that for you guys, because it really, if I had to be on Zoom more than like a couple hours a day, I think my brain would like break in half. So admiring your photos.
Yeah.
My fullest driver's license.
Did you just get your license?
I got it like 6 months ago.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's nice having them.
All right, later.
You're not lonely today, Michael.
Yeah, bro.
going to take me home, so
I'll take you home.
I should have asked you, honestly.
I'll take you home, Sam.
Okay, well, can do. Yeah, meeting with him for a long meeting today because he missed Tuesday.
And I don't even know if they canceled the August in Texas. Yeah, so you might want to check into that too.
Okay. Good. Have a good lunch.
Yeah, I could have came on Wednesday if I had that.
You should give me a snap.
Somebody left me a voicemail. Who's calling me? Let's see how I want to do this. I will do this. This.
Royal John is broken.
It's been broken.
Royal GG. It's GG. If you play correctly, it's 2. So weird notes.
Why won't you connect? Whatever.
Ooh, it's a Kahoot. We have a math Kahoot. We have a math Kahoot. That was too. Playing instruments, Michael.
I played like violin, like in elementary and middle school.
Oh, you piano.
Still.
Since I was 5.
Sweet. Are you like CM tech?
Yeah, I just got CM. So, did you get CM for violin?
No.
Yeah, but CM was all weird this year because of COVID, so we got to record these. Yeah. I did practice there when you're at home, like beginning like stress.
How do you change the music to like organ?
Like,
They don't have space. I mean, they did have space, but they started school like 2 weeks ago.
now space in school for you.
Basically.
What language do you speak over there?
English.
Where is it exactly? Like above Australia. You can visualize that. That's fine. 18 hours direct. Yeah. What's the time difference? 15 hours.
James Charles.
James Charles.
15 hours.
What does James Charles have to do with anything?
James Charles. And then cheaper.
Oh shoot, join the Kahoot. Who is that?
Everybody join the Kahoot.
You already joined.
Hunter has to leave at 12. Oh no, it's gonna be 3 people. It's just gonna be us just talking about all the stupid mistakes.
Okay.
399532.
Now this soundtrack stuck in my head.
What? Why is Joey in our Kahoot?
What?
Oh wait, that's not Joey.
What?
It is Joey.
Ricker.
How do I make it come out of the computer? Same assistant? Hello?
Hello.
Why is the music not coming out? I want the music to come out of the computer. Did I turn it? Did I mute it? Hello? Hello? Why isn't it coming out? Oh my god. I'm gonna not do my AirPods then.
How do you do this?
Hello? Hello? No AirPods. I'm disconnecting you. Is everybody in?
Yeah.
I only see 3 people.
I think I left the app, but I didn't close it.
Come back in, Michael. So basically, I set this up so that everybody's gonna be tricked like crazy. So if you aren't getting tricked, you aren't doing it right.
What? That's not
Okay, everybody's meant to be tricked.
I'm not gonna miss that many.
Somebody who's not in the room.
I called
Michael, hurry up, get in. You need to be tricked. Okay, ready? This is designed to trick everybody. Which form of parabola allows you to find its minimum value from its constants or coefficients? Minimum value from its constants or coefficients. 10 seconds. Minimum value. Constants or coefficients.
Who was that one? And how? It can't be blue because it's positive.
It can't be blue because the blue has a negative coefficient, so it's a downward parabola, right? Downward parabola.
I got tricked by that.
Minimum value, right? Minimum value. This one wasn't even that tricky of a question. It was not.
No, I was just stupid.
Okay. They get worse. Who's crying face?
There's 5 people.
Why are there 5 people?
Oh, we're getting sniped.
Who's crying
We're
face?
getting Kahoot sniped.
Me.
Okay, thank you, crying face. Crying face is gonna leave soon though. Which equation has more than one solution with the equation 2x plus 3y is equal to 4? More than one solution. More than one solution. More than one solution.
This is math.
This is math. This is an SAT question.
This is math.
This is an SAT question. What's the rule? If it has more than one solution, the equations are exactly the same, right? Right? The lines can do the parallel line dance or the same line dance. How are they the same line dance? If you multiply them all by the same number. Look, this one, they are all times by -10. It's not this first one. What's the relationship between the first one and that one? They're parallel, right? The coefficients here are proportional, but it should have been 4x plus 6y is equal to 8, right? That's why it's not the more than one solution. So this is another way of saying infinitely many solutions that I've seen on the test, right? There's a bunch, but they all have reasons, because these are the ones I see students miss all the time. Ah,
I'm gonna miss all of these.
everybody's gonna miss all of them. That's why I put this here.
Oh, there's 55 questions. Holy.
Yeah, but they all have reasons, and these are all ones I see students miss all the time.
Cheese, screw you, cheese. I don't like cheese.
Which type of answers? This one I just left in. Should you try to avoid an SAT, ACT reading? Should you avoid answers that are too specific, too opinionated, too extreme? All of the above. That one was easy. I gave you a gimme. This one's a gimme.
Crying faces is straight.
X to the -2 times x to the -3. What does that equal to? What is x to the 2 times x to the -3? Insta-click? Insta-click? Whoa, remember the rule, whoever got this one wrong, the rule is that when you times exponents with the same base, you add the exponents. You don't multiply the exponents. That's why this one's here. Cheese, you lost.
I'm higher than cheese.
Which is closest to 1/10 of 1%? 1/10 of 1%. 1/10 of 1%. Whoa, 3 people got tricked. 1/10 of 1%, the percent sign is here. Most people go with the decimal with ignoring the percent sign. I've seen this on the test, both the SAT and the ACT, right? You don't need the 10%, so you just need 1/10. You just need the 1/10, so that's why it's red. Trick question. What is the nature of the roots of the following equation? X squared plus 7x minus 5. What is the nature of the roots? Y'all might need some paper for this or something. I should have told you. What is the nature of the roots? Is it 1 real? 2 real? 1 imaginary? 2 imaginary? Oh, no. Ah. 4, 3, 2, 1. You're not able to factor it. That's why I put this one here, right? What are you supposed to use? I heard Kenton scream it out. It's the discriminant.
I knew what to use. I didn't have enough time to use it.
B squared minus 4AC. And you actually didn't need to use it, right? B squared is positive.
49.
4AC minus 4, A is 1, C is negative 5. So if it's minus 4AC, it's a positive plus a positive. It's positive. Cheese. But B squared minus 4AC is why I put this one here.
I got tricked. Dang. Hunter's
Where's the
taking
vertex of this equation? Have some paper. Where's the vertex of this? I should put this over here. You all have a whole minute to do the vertex of this equation.
I'm good at speed math.
Speed math. Everybody get it right? Yeah. What's the quickest way?
I just like found the average of the
Average of the roots. Yes, that's the quickest way. You can also do negative b over 2a. Good. Yeah. Not tricked. And y'all did it within a minute. That's pretty good too.
Dude, crankface is such a try hard.
Wait.
How many independent variables are in the following graph? How many independent variables are in the following graph? Boom. Boom. Whoa, everybody missed it.
Why is pH?
Why is pH? Remember when I said the key is by definition an independent variable.
You never said that.
I did. I talked about it when we did the ACT science class, the key.
It's not there.
You need to know this for the SAT or the ACT though. That's why it's here. So 2, it's pH and time. Anytime you have a key or a legend, that is an independent variable. Please note that. Y'all got tricked.
So you should have had this big computer this whole time we're doing classes. To your other
Why is
classes.
it tape on
I don't
this?
know. I'm learning too. God. I've only been virtual teaching classes for like 3 months. Leave me alone. What's the relationship
Oh my
between
gosh.
in this graph between pH and mass? Are they directly proportional, inversely proportional, constant, or uncorrelated? Between pH and mass. Whoa, inversely proportional. Look at the graph, right? The smallest pH is up here, right? The biggest one is down here. The smallest pH has the highest graph. The lowest pH has the lowest graph. So they're inversely related, inversely proportional. Y'all got tricked. Oh, Cheese got it right. What is a possible equation for the relationship between pH and mass? Same graph. Mass equals K times pH. Mass equals K over pH. pH plus mass is equal to K. pH times K is equal to mass. Same graph. Uh-oh. Did y'all forget the inverse relationship graph? If 2 variables are inversely related, it's y is equal to k over h. So in this case, what's the y? The y was mass. Mass is equal to k. K is your constant over the pH, right? So this is the formula for any inverse relationship. Red is direct relationship, right? Y equals kx is a direct relationship. That means this one goes up, the other goes up. Side. This wasn't even a trick question. I set you up for it. This was a foundationals question. Boo. Boo. If you have blank than 15 items, use the express lane. Y'all should know how to do this one. It was left over from last year.
Oh, crap.
No crap. Really?
Oh, God, I knew it was
Really?
was
I
gonna-
saw this on one of your old Kahoots. I thought y'all would have gotten it right. I saw this on one of your Kahoots. How did everybody miss
I don't
it?
know. I knew it.
Fewer.
I should've clicked it.
Fewer. If you can count, it's fewer.
Can you not count 15 items, Kenton? Shut up.
Kenton can't count 15 items, apparently. They all miss less or fewer, Nina. They all miss less or fewer.
I got it right. My
I
brain's
got it right.
lagging.
I got it right.
We did a question on that literally on Wednesday.
I know, they
My
all
brain is
missed
like-
it, except for Michael.
My brain's lagging.
All right.
I've been
Well,
watching
it's not my
sleeping class.
responsibility to teach you guys.
I've been watching
More.
sleeping class.
So whatever you picked up, you did.
Dang.
Disappointing though.
In blank passages, which words were most typically associated with women? In history passages, which
What?
What? What? Uh-oh, not enough time. I should have given you more time. Whoops. Whoops.
What?
Whoops.
No.
Whoops. Yeah.
5 seconds. I don't even need 5 seconds.
Yeah. It was domestic and meek. Those are the words. Contemptuous means angry.
Wow.
Women weren't associated with anger. Not yet. On the writing grammar section, the best answers tend to be specific, tangential, ambiguous, opinionated. 5, 4, 3, 2. Good. So you want to
Dang,
be.
I'm so
This is the trick question.
These weren't tricks. Reading is you want to be general, right? Writing you want to be specific. Math. If 16 to the y is equal to 8 to the x, what is x over y? You have a minute. A whole minute.
Wait a second. Boom. Easy. Ah.
They want x over y, so yeah, they do want a fraction, right? They want x over y.
Like our x and y numbers, so it's like one number.
Yeah. X and y by themselves are whole numbers. Yes.
Oh, I'm so dumb.
What? How did I miss this?
Whoa. Okay.
I'm really good at this.
Stop share for a second so y'all can see. Okay. So here's how this goes.
So small.
Here's how this goes. When you see the letters in the exponent, you want a common base. Y'all know what the common base is here?
Yeah, too.
2, right? You can write both of these in terms of 2. So we'll say 2 to the 4th to the y. Okay, this one is 2 to the 3rd to the x, right? Power rule, when you raise a power to a power, you just times it, right? So it's 2 to the 4y is equal to 2 to the 3x, okay? Now here's the trick part. This is the normal part. We can equate the exponents. 4y is equal to 3x. Here's where everybody messes up. They want x over y, right? So what you do is you can divide both sides by y, right? So you get 4 is equal to 3x over y. You divide both sides by 3. You times both sides by 1/3, which is the same as dividing by 3, right? So 4 over 3 is equal to x over y. This is the part where everybody messes up. They get to here and they're like, oh, it's 3/4.
Dang it. I felt for that.
Yeah, I'm giving you all these things that I've seen students miss throughout the years, so don't do it. Ah,
No, I got kicked.
you got kicked? Come, you can come back in, right?
It's like, oh, no, cheese. No, the legacy.
Well, what happened? Are you not cheese anymore? You don't know?
Yeah, can you just press next? Maybe
Yeah.
the code is there.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
see.
right on 9.
399 something something. A to the 4th minus b to the 4th. What's that equal to? 399 532. Sorry. Sorry. Boom. What? How did 3 people miss this one? What the heck? What the heck?
Yeah, bro, what the heck?
Yeah, what the heck, bro? What are you supposed to do? This is the difference of squares, right?
How am I in 7th place? It's not even 7 people.
I don't know. A to the 4th minus b to the 4th, right? It's squares, so you can do a squared plus b squared. A squared minus b squared. This one you can't factor, right? You can't factor the sum of squares down further. You can do this one though, right? This one's a plus b, a minus b. Right? So it's all these together.
This is difficult. I'm not doing well.
I told you all on Wednesday. I was like giving you all the trick questions. Yeah, so you're not going to see all of these on a test, but I think these statistically, like 90% of the kids miss these for whatever reason. I don't know why. Whoever cold face is. True or false? There are 12 square inches in 1 square foot.
No, phone's lagging. Look, what is this? What is this?
We talked about this on Wednesday. How many square inches are in 1 square foot? 144. 144 square inches. Ugh, y'all. That's you?
Yeah, again. The bed.
I have a Tesla's worth 1,000 today. Tomorrow drops 20%. The day after rises 20%. How much is it worth? Honestly, it's worth like 1,600. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Yes! I own one Tesla.
When did you buy it?
Bought it at 200.
Oh my god.
And then he gave it to me when I was at 300. Like,
Oh
last
my
year.
god.
So now I'm just
Kenton's
saving
a
up.
millionaire.
I know.
Kenton's a millionaire. Who said 1,000? This is a trick question. This is, you never add or subtract percentages, right? You have to do 1,000, then what do? If it drops, you times it by 0.8, right? And then if it rises, you times it by 1.2. So the quick equation is 1,000 times 0.8 times 1.2, and then you get 980. Wait, shouldn't it be 960? I programmed this wrong. Is it 980?
I don't know.
I think, hold on, I'm typing into my calculator. 1,000 times 0.8 times 1.2. I programmed it wrong. Everybody got it wrong. It's 960.
I thought I had of your program.
It's 960. Everybody missed this question. Fail. Right?
Did he give
Percent
us-
change.
Wait, what was the answer?
960.
Oh. Yeah, we did all miss this.
Yeah. So remember, it's 1 minus 0.2 for a percent decrease, 1 plus 0.2 for a percent increase, and then you just times it by the new value. Okay.
Go now.
Okay.
Bye.
We're posting this on YouTube, so everybody will see y'all getting creamed.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
If 7x minus 2 is 9, what is 7x? It is a trick question. It is a trick question. What's the trick here?
You're gonna divide, actually.
Yeah, everybody solves for x, right? Very SAT question. Very SAT question.
Cheese.
Please excuse my dear aunts.
No, she's died.
What is the value of that 9 to the half plus 16 to the half all squared?
Easy.
Easy. I also skipped D for B. Right? Half is the square root, right? You add before you square. Don't square each of them individually. I think the worst thing that people do is they distribute this. You cannot distribute an exponent when there's a plus or minus sign in between. Right? Now for binomials, you'd have to FOIL them. Emma,
Wait, 49.
do you have a question, Danny?
Yeah, wait, hold on. Can you go back to the thing? Like the where you just look. Hold on.
This is a square root of 9, right? So that's 3.
Oh, okay, yeah, I got it. I added them both. Okay.
Okay, square root first, right? Because order of operations. Emma.
Yeah.
Next one.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
She's fell
yeah.
off because oh what? Crying face is still first.
Crying face is in here and you're still, y'all are still losing door. Which of the following gives the relationship between C and H? Look at the graph. The relationship between C and H. H is the x-axis, C is the y-axis. H is the x-axis, C is the y-axis. Whoa, y'all got tricked. Y'all got tricked. You cannot count boxes. Do not trust boxes.
Why such a complicated question? For what, man? For what?
This is an SAT question. I literally copied it from an SAT. I literally copied it from an SAT. Look, how far, if we just make a triangle here, right? We count 4 boxes, but how far is the units? It's actually only 1 unit. It's 3 boxes. How far is 3 boxes? 3 boxes is 3 units. 1, 2, 3. So the slope is 3 over 1, not 3 over 4. Don't trust graphs, especially later in the test. Y'all got tricked. Oh, Michael got it right. Good job, Michael.
Jesus, I'm higher than you.
Alma bought a laptop that gave a 20% discount off the original price. The total amount she paid was P dollars. Oh, there's also an 8% sales tax too on the discounted price. Which of the following represents the original price of the computer in terms of T?
Original price?
Original price. Which of the following represents the original price? What?
Original one.
What? We talked about this last time. What? Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Michael, you just have good guessing skills.
Remember, what do? We do final is equal to original times 1 plus or minus P, right? So the original, we didn't know, so it's X. We didn't know the original. She said the final price she paid, right? If it says paid, that's P. What did they say? It says there was a 20% discount. 1 minus 0.2, that's the 20% discount. And then there's a sales tax of 8%. Sales tax is 1 plus 0.08. P is equal to X times 0.8 times 1.08. How do you solve for P or solve for X, which is the original? You divide it over. You cannot add or subtract percentages on this test. Do not add or subtract percentages. So what are some of the things, right? You cannot add them. You have to times them together. This is a very commonly wrong answer, right? Because people are so used to doing this, but you can only times if P is the original value. But it said she paid. Paid means it's a final value. This is such a common trick question, specifically on the SAT. More common on the SAT than on the ACT.
I saw this question, but it had final in it, so I thought it was the same question.
Yeah, sometimes it'll say final. So final is the keyword. Paid. Paid. Total, maybe. So many words that they might use. Final, paid, total. Good job, Michael.
Michael's doing really well.
Michael's doing really well. What is the sum of all values of m that satisfy the equation below? What is the sum of all values of m that satisfy this equation here? The sum of all values m.
Flipping a coin.
Flipping a coin? But your coin only has 2 sides, not 4 sides.
I have decided that there's only 2 correct answers.
You decided there's only 2 correct answers. That's not a coin, that's a eraser.
Yeah, holy shoot. Both sides are the same.
What are you flipping? Your coin? Your phone?
Well, I've selected based on one of these 2.
I missed it.
F. F. F, F, F. What kind of equation is this?
Quadratic.
It's a quadratic equation, yeah? So if it's a quadratic equation, guess what formula you're supposed to use?
Quadratic.
Quadratic formula. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, so what's one of your solutions? And one of your solutions is 16 plus, I don't care, I'm just gonna put a blah, 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 blah here, over 4. What's the other solution? 16 minus blah, 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 over 4. Each of these solutions satisfy the equation. What does it want you to do?
Simplify.
It doesn't want you to simplify, it said it wants you to sum. So guess what happens when you sum these up?
You get the 8.
You get the 8, right? The blah, blah, blahs cancel. Because there's a plus blah, 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 and there's a minus blah, blah, blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so whenever you use a quadratic equation and you have to sum them, the blah, blah, blahs cancel 100% of the time. Yeah?
Yeah.
The blah, blah, blahs cancel. Everybody go to Rouse and complain that there are 59 items, say 15 items or less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what they say there?
Yeah, I think so. The sum of all values, right? If they said solutions or something, or they said use the quadratic formula, everybody would get it right. But of course they don't do it that way. They are silly. Nobody got it right. Nobody changes. Okay, there are 300 students in each survey. What is the median number of siblings for all students surveyed? Here's the survey. There are 300 students. Help me find the median. This is a trick question.
Oh, wait. This is
What? There's 300 students that they surveyed at Lincoln and at Washington School. I want the median number of students. The median. Median. Median.
It's like, I don't know.
Alright. There are only 2 people on now. Who got booted? What's the trick? Y'all remember how to find the median really quickly?
You look at where it's skewed, right?
No. Remember the trick I gave you
Number
me?
minus 1.
Plus 1. Number plus 1 divided by 2.
Oh,
No, you still would have gotten it right if you did minus 1. It's 300, right? Even with 300, it's so big, right? Where is the middle student? The middle student's around number 150. How many students have 0? It doesn't matter. We'll do Lincoln, right? 120 students have zeros. Then what? 80 students have 1 sibling. So where's the 150th student if we listed them all out in a row? There's 120 here. And then where's the 150th? The 150th would be in this category right there. Yeah? You could have done it with Washington School too. There's 140 students here. So where's the 150th? 10 more would be up here. What's almost always the wrong answer for this type of question? Well, 0. But
D.
what is the wrong answer that everybody chooses?
2.
2.
Why?
Because it's the middle, right? They count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here's the middle one, right? That's how they do it.
That's not smart.
That's not smart, but that's, I would say, arguably 80% of the time students choose that. Most commonly chosen wrong answer. Do not fall for
I
it.
think Hunter's still on the podium. I think she's first.
Hunter is still first. Hunter is still first, even though she's gone. The one on the left is Giraffa. The one on the right is Giraffa pardalis. They are part of the same family, phylum, genus, species. What's the rule here?
Wait, who's not answering?
I don't know. Who's out? Danny, are you out? Y'all know the difference between genus and species?
Yeah, no.
The first name is the genus name. They are part of the same genus. You know the common giraffe is just Giraffa. I looked that up yesterday. I'm like, oh, that's so fascinating. Giraffa. That's the formal name, the scientific name for a giraffe. This one, look, this one's the giraffe with the weird spots. Camelopardalis. They have like camel spots or leopard spots or something. So genus is the first name, species is the second name. Good job, Joey. The formula for kinetic energy is below. In the equation, kinetic energy is directly proportional to... Is everybody out?
You didn't give us enough time.
No, I put 10 seconds on there. It just like stopped.
It just said time's up.
Really? That's so
It
weird.
immediately like stopped.
That's weird. That's weird. Okay, mv squared, right? V squared, velocity squared. Anyways, let's try. Let's hope this one works. Octagon. Uh-oh.
I'm scared. Goons.
Point A is a vertex of an 8-sided polygon. Polygon has 8 sides of equal length and equal measure. When all possible diagonals are drawn from point A in the polygon, how many triangles are formed? Why did everybody miss this?
Because
Boo.
it said octagon and then we all put 8. including-
Yeah, right? Octagon, everybody picks 8. That's immediately what people think on the test, right? When you're drawing an octagon and you want to draw the number of diagonals, I'm just doing this because I didn't really talk about diagonals last time. Right, diagonals are the ones that go from a corner to a non-adjacent corner. This was the trick I gave you the last time, right? To count how many degrees. Right, you draw one from here, 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 you draw one from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 triangles. That is a common thing that you need to do.
If this was all the questions in the math SAT, I would probably fail.
It should be that way. Then the test would be more fair.
But then everyone would just find out what the tricks are.
Even when I do this, even when we tell you like less or fewer, y'all still miss the tricks. I'm giving you all the tricks. I'm gonna post this online too so you can review it. So y'all like, this is like stuff that they do. Test makers do this. Which of these concepts are inversely proportional?
Who's the science?
Inversely proportional, density and volume, momentum and mass, height and gravity, speed and distance. Inversely proportional, yes. Density, right? The more density, the smaller it gets in size. Momentum and mass, the more massive you are, the more momentum you have. Like, think about like a tiny race car versus a gigantic NASCAR car. Which one has more momentum? The gigantic NASCAR car. NASCAR car. You know, race cars the same forwards and backwards.
Yeah, it's a palindrome.
Palindrome. Good job, Joey. True or false? Unless otherwise stated, objects on the SAT, ACT are drawn to scale. True or false?
They don't do that to us.
True.
What?
Unless otherwise stated, every picture
why
is
would
drawn
they-
to scale.
Why would
They do not lie with their pictures, unless they say not drawn to scale.
everything's a trick on the SAT then?
So, if it says that, guess what you can do? If something looks like it's bigger than one thing and that thing says 4, then it's bigger than 4. Or you can see, oh, it says approximately 90, right? I've had students do that and guess correctly. Drawn to scale.
Crying face is still second.
Read it
What?
back.
What are some examples of heterozygous dominant alleles?
Double A for sure.
Heterozygous dominant.
Wait, sorry, a second.
Heterozygous dominant. Why are you giving the answer away, Michael? Thanks, Michael.
I didn't even answer. There's 5 seconds. What?
I was 10 seconds. You can't have ones with different letters. It has to be the same letters.
I
Rip.
forgot. My
Rip. Homozygous dominant, right? Homozygous dominant. Heterozygous dominant. Nothing. These are nothing. Your friend says you're basic. How should you respond? Thank you. My pH is 3. Indubitably, I have a pH of 7. Absolutely, I have a negative pH balance. Of course, I have a pH larger than 7.
Oh, I didn't answer. I have my finger on green.
Basic, greater than 7. Bruh. Puzzle. Slide from amino acid, lipid, carbohydrate, DNA, in that order. Amino acid, lipid, carbohydrate, DNA.
What order is this? Like energy?
Yeah. Left would be amino acid, then lipid, then carbohydrate, then DNA. Nobody got it. Nobody got it. So I should have given more time.
Wait. Oh,
Which one's amino acid? Protein, right?
did I not do that?
Then lipid is also known as a fatty acid.
Oh, that's what you had to do. I didn't understand.
Yeah, carbohydrate.
Oh.
Another name is saccharide, and then DNA is genetic code, right? They use these interchangeably on the ACT. Or on the SAT too, actually. In both tests.
Never done this slide.
Yeah. I should give more time. How many of these students jumped at most 47 inches using this graph? At most 47 inches.
Oh,
Does everybody remember how to read this thing?
yeah.
Right, this is 37, 38, 43, 45, 46, 47. And then at most, right, means less than or equal to. So 6 of the students jumped at most 47 inches. Stem and leaf pods. Rip, rip. Volume.
What about it?
What about it? We have a swimming pool below. It has an area of 630 square feet and a perimeter of 114 feet. The swimming pool has a uniform depth of 5 feet of water, and the given lengths are in feet. If it can be determined, what is the volume in cubic feet that the pool contains? I skipped B, so I'm telling you that B is the wrong answer. So it's either A, C, D, or E. What is the volume in cubic feet of the pool?
The trick answer cannot be determined.
Is it?
No, I wouldn't be able to find it.
What?
So I
We went over this on Wednesday. OMG. ACT question.
Oh, based on.
Yeah. Whoa. Whoa. It's Michael was right? The volume formula is big B times H, where big B is the area of the base. What is the area of the base?
630.
630. What is the height?
5.
5, right? Depth. They didn't say height, they say depth. So it's literally just 630 times 5. Right? Volume is big B times H. This was taken from the, I think this was taken from the June ACT. Like the one that 80,000 kids took. People took the June ACT. Imagine that.
Why does California have to be all the shut down with all the testing sites?
Because California is sloppy.
It's like my friend's driving in Utah too.
This one's a weird one. I copied this from the June ACT also. The normal standard distribution is that thing. Which of the following percentages is closest to the percent of data points that are within 2 standard deviations of the mean? 68, 90, 95, 99. 2 standard deviations. But okay, I do need. I want to go over this one because I saw it on the ACT and I'm like, oh my god, we need to talk about that. Because this is pretty easy if you remember the empirical formula. It's called the empirical formula. I've actually seen it on both the SAT and ACT. Usually they give you enough information to figure it out. This question, they really did it. I'm like, oh, that kind of sucks. Right, so here's the normal distribution, right? Bell curve.
Mhm.
This is the middle, right? So if this is the middle, 50% are above, 50% are below, right? So usually when we do it, we split it up into 3 standard deviations above and 3 standard deviations below. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So within 1 standard deviation of the population, that's 68%. Okay, so this is part of the empirical formula. 68% of the population fall within 1 standard deviation. That means within means you can go 1 above,
Dang.
1 below. Okay, that's 1 standard deviation. The next one is 2 standard deviations. If you're doing 2 standard deviations, that's from here to here. Right? If you're doing 2 standard deviations, that's 95%. Okay? And if you're doing 3 standard deviations, 3 standard deviations means you're going from this end all the way to this end. That's basically the whole graph, right? But they don't say it's 100% because there's such thing as outliers. So within 3 standard deviations, it's 99.7. That's the empirical formula. Right, so over half fall within 1 standard deviation, almost 100%, 95% falls within 2, and then almost 100. So then if you want to look at what it means like on the media, right? This just literally, that was the question. They gave you that, and they're just like, figure it out. So I guess you could try to approximate, right? What percent of the graph is under this curve? So it's probably one of these 3, right? It's almost 100% of the graph if we shaded everything, right? We shaded everything within 2 and 2.
What was the answer?
95. The answer is D, 95%. Yeah. Any questions on that one? Thought I'd point it out since I saw it on the test. Which of the following sets of numbers has the largest standard deviation? Largest standard deviation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 4, 5, 6, 10. 1, 1, 10, 10, 10. 101, 102, 103, 104, 105. What? What's the definition of standard deviation?
Oh, I didn't.
Farthest from the center.
On average.
On average, right? Look, these 4 and the 6, they're kind of close to the center, which is 5, right? But what would the center of 1 and 10 be? That'd be around 5, right? And these are all pretty far from 5. Okay, this is a really easy one I've seen on the SAT and ACT. Good job, Michael. Be careful with these balls. A basket contains 10 solid colored balls. 2 blue, 3 red, 5 green. Each ball has a number on it. The red balls, blue balls are 1 and 2. The red balls are 1 and 3. And the green balls are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A ball will be drawn around from the basket. What's the probability that the ball that is drawn will be red or have a 3 printed on it? Two tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths. Tenths, 3 tenths, 4 tenths, 5 tenths. Whoa. Whoa, y'all got tricked. I think what's the easiest way of doing this is to like literally list them all out. There's 2 blue balls, right? 1, 2. There's 3 red balls. 1, 2, 3. Where's my green? There's a green. There's 5 green balls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's the probability of red or 3. If you just literally count them up, you can see how many there are, right? 1, 2, 3. There's just this 3 over here. Green 3. What's the trick that people miss all the time on this question?
Double count.
They double count, right? They're like, oh yeah, there's this green 3. Oh, and there's a red 3 too. So there's 2 3s and there's 3 reds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah?
Yeah.
So do not do that, please. Please do not do that. Next one. Good job, Joey.
Yeah.
Halfway point. What? What number is halfway between 2/5 and 8/7? 2/5 and 8/7. I'm telling you, it's not A. You're welcome. B, C, D, or E. Good job, everybody. What's the quick way of doing halfway?
Average.
Average, right? I just did that, and y'all did it in a good amount of time, too. Perfect. Halfway, midpoint. Those are the 2 key words. Good job. Y'all didn't get tricked on that one. How do you calculate percent error in science? E is experimental data, T is theoretical. Is it E minus T? Is it E over T?
Oh, really?
E minus T over T? Is it T minus E over E? You did this year, Michael. It shows up on the ACT Science. Experimental, that's the data that you collect, right? The theoretical is the one that you calculate over the theoretical.
Sure.
Yeah. It's almost like the percent change formula, right? Final minus original over original. You just have to remember that the original is like the theoretical. Okay, I've seen this question on the ACT. What's the difference between an observational study and an experiment? This is an SAT question. Also an ACT. An experiment can only have 2 variables. A study allows for dependent variables. An experiment allows for better control variables. A study can be repeated. A study can be repeated. An experiment allows you to control. A study is observational. That means you ask people questions, right? An experiment is done more in under controlled settings, like in a lab or something. Yeah, so that's the difference. So a survey would be an observational study. An experiment is when you like take mice and then you try to kill them or something. Okay, don't kill mice, unless you're doing it for science, I guess. There are 30 students in total. How many of Mrs. Smith's students had a score higher than 70? Look at the graph. Here's the graph. How many of Mrs. Smith's students got higher than 70 on their test? There are 30 in total. That's going to be key for this. Whoa. What? I put this one up because it's a cumulative frequency table, right? Cumulative. Look, the bars actually repeat over and over again, right? They all include 40. So this bar on the right includes everybody, all 30, right?
So you have to subtract.
We have to subtract. So how many people got between 41 and 70? It's between 12 and 8, right? So between 41 and 70, 10 people got between 41 and 70, right? So that means this bar, anything above that bar is above 70. So it's 20 people. Okay? Cumulative, so it kind of stacks on top, right? Accumulate, right? You keep adding. Okay, the next one's going to be on this graph too. Let's see if you can get it. What? Same graph. This was a trio question on the ACT. Which of the following intervals must contain the median score of Mrs. Smith's science test scores? Which interval must contain the median score? It was faster since I already explained the graph to you. 61 through 70, 65 through 74, 71 through 80, 75 through 84. Okay, let's explain how to read this graph. Okay, look at this one. This one's 41 through 70, right? So this bar is literally repeated from here to here also, right? This bar is repeated from here to here. So then this bar that's above that bar could be considered 71 through 80. Does that make sense? The whole bar is everybody from 41 through 80. The bar up until here is up to 70. So anything above this bar would be 71 through 80. Okay, this bar from here to here is 71 through 80. Let me put in an annotation too so y'all can see it. In case y'all are looking at this later, right? So from here to here, we're gonna make a nice cutoff. This is 41 through 70. This is above 70. If we're looking at a cumulative distribution graph, there's 30 students in total. Where would the middle be? The middle would be around number 15. So where would number 15 hit the graph? It hit it right here at the 71 through 80. Yeah? Why can't we say 65 through 70? Or why can't we say 75 through 80? That's because we don't know if that's true about the graph, right? All we can do is match them up in groups of 10, right? Maybe in that group of 10 that I was showing you, this is 71 through 80, but maybe everybody in this group got 71s. So we can't guarantee that there's a 75 in there. That kind of makes sense? So when you see a table like this, you can only guarantee intervals of 10. You can say 41 through 50. This little chunk right here is 51 through 60. This chunk above is 61 through 70. This chunk is 71 through 80. This chunk is 81 through 90. This chunk is 91 through 100. That's my thing. Whoops, come back, come back. How you read a cumulative distribution graph. You're welcome. Good job, Joey. True or false? An integer must be a rational number. True, right? An integer is just a fraction over 1. True or false? The rectangle that takes up the most perimeter is a square. A rectangle is not a rhombus, no. How do we fix this statement? The rectangle.
It's not a square.
Okay.
Per area.
Most area. Most area, least perimeter.
We talked about this on Monday.
Wednesday. A lot of this is like, you remember that. You don't remember any of the other stuff we talked about on Wednesday. Box and whiskers. How much does the median of boat B exceed the median of boat A? This is an SAT question. How much does the median of boat B exceed the median of boat A? Median of boat B. Median of boat A. Let's bring it home. Boom. Genius machine? Yes. Who's missing? Daniel. Yeah. It's like, what's the point? What's the point, especially since the school, like, SAT. Everybody's SAT's canceled.
For what, man? For what?
For what? Yeah, why are we doing this? Y'all know how to read this, the box and whisker plots?
Yep.
Right? This middle line that you draw, that's the median. This is the first quartile, this is the third quartile. Right? So if you draw the thingy down, right, the median for boat A is here, which is 35. The median for boat B is here is 40. So they are differed by 5. Right? So the median is the line drawn in the middle of the box. This is the minimum value, this is the maximum value, and each of the line is separating into fourths. You okay, Michael? Crippling depression. It's okay. We have 10 more, and then you can
Cripple elsewhere.
cripple elsewhere. What's the trick in this graph? You shouldn't measure temperature in K. You should use a legend if you have 2 different symbols or dots. The y-intercept for boron looks like it's 10. There's nothing wrong with it. Did we go over this on Wednesday? Did we? Did we go over this on Wednesday?
Oh, the scale. The excess is showing 0.
Another way of saying that x doesn't start at 0 is that the y-intercept looks like it's at 10, right? This is not the y-intercept. Y-intercept only occurs when x, or in this case k, would be 0. Yeah, do not trust all graphs, especially on the SAT and ACT. You do not need a legend. It's okay to have this. This is okay. Maybe it's better with a legend, but there's no rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at where 1 ATM is in this graph. Given this information, how many torr would 2 ATM be? Given the information, where would 2 torr, or how many torr would 2 ATM be? Would it be 750, 900, 1,000, 1,500? Is it? What? So, what's the wrong way of doing it? The wrong way of doing it is trusting the graph and being like, okay, it's starting here, so let me just move it over here, right? That's like, okay, that's 900. But notice it did not start at
That's the first thing I looked for.
it did not start at 0, 0, right? So how are you supposed to do it? You're supposed to set up a proportion. What is 1 ATM? 1 ATM is roughly 750, right? So you do 1 over 750, right? We said directly proportional or direct variation, they're synonyms. So if they're directly proportional, then you can do 1 over 750 is equal to 2 over x. Yeah, do not trust graphs if they do not start at the origin or start at 0 or whatever the y-intercept is. Yes?
Yes.
Yes. GG. Almost done. Then y'all can get out of my lives.
It's all the same.
Same.
What should you do when you see multiple graphs that look the same? Or an experiment with multiple trials? Like that graph. Should you read the entire experiment? Should you look for what variables manipulated? Should you look for what variables measured? Should you cry? Manipulated variable, right? Right? This is plot 1, 2, 3. We don't know what they are. We talked about the key is the manipulator independent, right? So you have to go figure out what they are manipulating or what they changed, yeah? Do not read the entire experiment. That's a waste of time.
I would just cry, honestly.
Yeah, but that's the wrong answer. Yeah, not on the ACT. What is the formula for area of an equilateral triangle?
This weird thing.
X squared rad 3 over 2? X squared rad 2 over 3? X rad 3 over 4? X squared rad 3 over 4. X squared rad 3 over 4.
We went over this on Wednesday too, I think.
We did go over this. A lot of this stuff is I went over it. It'd be helpful if y'all made a flashcard out of it.
This is all math.
X squared rad 3 over 4.
All right.
Good job. Kenton wrote it down, so he said he remembered it. If you write it down 100 times, you'll never forget it.
That's a false statement.
That is a false statement. But if you do it right before the test date, what
the
is the expected value of this table? You don't
Ah.
have to read it, just use the table. You actually don't need to read it. You can figure out the expected value just by looking at the table.
value of what?
What doesn't matter? If you just read the table, you can just do it.
Let's go.
Good job. Let me show you 2 ways of doing it. Okay. One way, expected value is a way of saying average, by the way, right? So if you just want to find the average of any series of numbers, you just times everything together. Times everything together. So 0 times 0.7 is 0. 1 times 0.2 is 0.2. 2 times 0.05 is 0.1. 3 times 0.05 is 15. After you times every row together, you add them up. Yeah? Another way you can do it. Another way you can do it is we can ignore this 70 and pretend like this is a whole number 70. This is the whole number 20, so I'm going to erase the decimals. So you can do 0 times 70, which is the same we did earlier, right? Plus 1 times 20, plus 2 times 5, plus 3 times 5. After you add them all up, you divide it by the sum of this column. That all adds up to 100. Sometimes when you get expected value, you just times, and then you have to divide by however many things there are. It's not always going to be 100. Okay, so maybe there's 300, or maybe there's 50. Right? Expected value is finding the average. Very much related to that sibling question we had earlier. Any questions on that one? Nope. Nope. 6 more. What is not an example of kinetic energy? Friction, drag, heat, potential, which is not an example of kinetic energy. Heat is an example. Usually when you do friction or something, it creates heat. So they use those terms somewhat related on the ACT. Potential is actually not kinetic energy. Potential energy it's stored energy, right? So if I bring a rock up, that's stored energy. But a kinetic is something that's moving. Joey failed. The ratio of boys to girls is 2 to 3. Boys have an average score of 70. Girls have an average score of 80. What's the overall average? Oh, I should have given more time. Whoops. Good luck. At least you can guess pretty quickly. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Right?
OP.
How many people got it right? 2. What's the trick here? What does everybody always do wrong? What does everybody normally do wrong? If they say the boys have an average of 70 and the girls have an average of 80, what do? They do 70 plus 80 divided by 2, right?
Why 2?
I don't know, because when people average, they're like, oh, let me take the 2 numbers, add them up, and divide them. That's what people normally do, right? But for every 2 boys, there's 3 girls. So we need to do 70 plus 70 plus 80 plus 80 plus 80, right? 2 boys, 3 girls. And then what do we divide by? We divide by 5, right? Because there's technically 5 in our group. Which group is heavier, the boys or the girls? The girls, right? So what do they do to the mean? They pull up the mean, bring up the mean, right? So the wrong answer is 75. So if you had to guess, it'd either be 76 or 78, right? So y'all could have guessed on that one. 4 more. Shaded regions to the max. This was a hard shaded region question. Y'all have a minute though. So you have this circle, you have the 2 lines, and we're trying to find the answer for that shaded region. I'm telling you the answer is not D.
Yes.
Good job. Okay. So the trick part here, let me close the window so everybody can see the board, is what? It's that when you have x plus y, x squared plus y squared is equal to 9, that's a circle, right? If you have less than or equal to 9, which part of the circle do you shade? X squared plus y squared is less than or equal to 9.
Below?
This is the radius squared, right?
Yeah.
So radius squared, it's less than the radius squared. So you actually shade on the inside of the circle. That's why it's going to be one of these with the less than. If it's greater than or equal to 9, it's going to shade on the outside of the circle because it's dependent on the radius. Yeah, so you needed one with less than. And then this line is easy, right? Is our car, when we drive it, is the car above or below the line? It's above, so it'd be y is greater than or equal to x minus 3. Yeah, so this is one of the ones where if you plug in the numbers, I actually don't think it works, right? There's no numbers for you to plug in. So most of the time you can plug in numbers. Here you should know this equation though. Yeah?
You guys teach sign language here?
Did we? At one point we did.
It's false advertising.
Yeah, it is false advertising. That's true. 3 more.
Is there French sign language?
Yes, there is.
That's so cool.
I have a right circular prism. If I triple its radius, what would happen to my volume? I have a right circular prism. If I triple my radius, what would happen to its volume? It wouldn't change. It would triple. It grow by a factor of 6. It grow by a factor of 9. Yes. What's the formula?
1/3
Nope.
BH.
Nope. Right circular prism. Remember,
Technically, I'm right. It is
right circular prism is this thing right here.
cylinder.
Cylinder. What's the formula for the cylinder?
Height times
Base times height, right? What's the base shape?
Circle.
Pi r squared h times height, right? Pi r squared h times height. So right circular prism is another word for cylinder. If I triple the radius, it's r squared, right?
So why does it like for cones? Why is it like 1/3? Why can't you just like do the like multiply height times the circle on the bottom?
Well, look, it's the same. These two are the same height, right?
Yeah.
But it's basically I could fill up this with water 3 times, and it'd fill up this one completely. That's why it's 1/3 pi r squared h, right?
Oh,
If
I thought it was like the volume for everything is BH though.
for anything that's a prism, so anything that's equally distributed like this, right? So pi r squared, the square, that's why we have to square that 3, right? And that's why it's 9. 2 more. Rational exponents. Which of the following is not equivalent to the square root of the cube root of x squared? The square root of the cube root of x squared. Which of these is not equivalent? I'm telling you that h is equivalent. This is backwards, right? What? You can reverse the order of radicals. No, 4 of them are right. 1 is wrong. What? So I said rational exponents, right? How do we write the square root?
We can take like an x out, right?
No, we're gonna rewrite the square root as 1/2 power, right? That's square root. How do we rewrite the cube root of x squared?
Put on top.
Put what on top?
The 2.
2 on top, 3 on bottom. Right? That's this. This one is this. Right? This square root is the 1/2. What do we do when we raise the power to a power? Multiply. What's 2/3 times 1/2?
X 1/3.
So you can easily see which one's not equivalent then.
Wait, then go back to the answer choice.
Go back to the answer choices. So we know that it's equal to x to the 1/3. We go back to the answer
Why wouldn't
choices.
it be K?
It is k.
It's just K.
Into J.
Oh. Oh, I programmed it wrong.
It is right though.
What?
J
It's
is
k.
right.
No, J is right, but k is not equivalent.
Oh my, that should on this one, right?
Sorry, Kenton.
X is right.
K is right because it says not.
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
wrong, but right.
it's wrong but right. Yeah. So my whole thing with this question before I programmed it wrong is that you just need to convert it to rational exponents, right? That's easier to do a problem like this. Last question. You're in the lead anyways, Kenton. Tamika calculates that she needs 360 square feet of carpet. How many square yards of carpet does she need? Is it G? Is it 40? Is it H? 60? J? 90? K? 120? K?
Oh, shoot.
10, 9, 8, 7.
Oh,
Okay.
my phone from home.
No, Kenton, you're gonna lose the whole thing. Really?
Like,
Really, everybody?
I just put the answer.
Really? Really? We went over this on Wednesday.
All right, there's 144.
How do we go from square feet to square yards? $360 square feet. How do we write square feet? We're gonna write feet, right? How many feet are in 1 yard?
3.
3 feet in 1 yard, right? So we divide by 3. That takes care of one of the feet.
It is.
Then you do it again. Oops. So it's the same as dividing by how much?
9.
9. 360 divided by 9 is 40. This is literally one of the most common ACT questions right now because people miss it so much.
So they made it more common.
So they made it more common, right? They find the questions that everybody misses and they're like, okay, we're gonna do that. Y'all can't miss this either. Whoa. This is, I would say 50-50 probability that you get a question like this on the ACT. 50-50 probability. I'm guessing that's Danny. I'm guessing that's Nick.
Oh, I was 30.
Yeah, Michael could have won actually. I think you could have won. Cheese came up in 5th. Good job, Cheese. All right, everybody. 18% correct. 18% correct, y'all.
You made it so hard.
I made it so hard that 18% is decent.
It's reasonable.
I was hoping for a third. Oh well. Okay. I'll be posting this online so y'all can review before your actual test.
Where do you go to get these resources online?
YouTube. Follow Thinque Prep on YouTube. Yay.
You guys have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
What do you guys even post?
I post calculus questions on there. I post news articles on there.
You talk about the news?
I get interviewed on the news a couple times a year.
Which news?
KTLA. KTLA Channel 5.
We're on the news for like the missing airplane, Malaysia.
What?
Remember?
I know that. I know what you're talking about. I wasn't on it. No.
Bill Nye was.
Bill Nye.
You what?